My last question for you is because it's a question that I've just gotten in my life a lot because, I was born in 1988, so I wasn't there for the 80s. I have no memory of the 80s, so I don't have a nostalgia for the 80s because I don't have any memory of it. I might have nostalgia from stuff from it when I saw as a kid,
Yeah.
but I wasn't there. So, growing up, I got a lot of questions like, why do you like all this old stuff? Why do you like all this stuff from the 80s, And my response has always been like, I enjoy the 80s in the same way I enjoy Lord of the Rings or Star
Yeah.
Wars. I like because the 80s to me is like a fantasy world that I can kind of enter with music videos and movies and songs and fashion, aesthetics. And, I can just kind of be entertained by, my pick of whatever I like. I don't
Yeah.
have the baggage of anything else that was there that I don't like.
Mhm.
So I don't know if that makes any sense to you,
No,
but
it
like,
does. It does.
yeah.
Yeah.
So how do you when you must get that question too when people, older than you or your age are like, why do you like this 80s stuff? Like, how do you make sense of it?
So for me, it's a little bit weird. I do believe my past life. I believe in past lives. I think I was
Okay.
alive at some
Yeah.
point then. Maybe my life was cut too short, and that's why now I'm like living it out again. Um, I just say, honestly, if somebody's like, why do you like this? Why do you like this decade? And I'm just like, well, I kind of prefer the movies and the music over nowadays. Yes, I do like some modern artists nowadays, but it's not, the music doesn't feel the same. It doesn't, when you're listening to a band from the 80s, everything was played live, you know how it was recorded, all these things. And I feel like there's more effort into that. And I feel like more appreciation too. I get CGI. A lot of people are really good at CGI too. But I love like giving credit to those people that make things before CGI was CGI,
Yeah.
and I give them so much props. And I feel like there was just more to it.
Yeah.
I
I
cannot
mean,
name you many modern day artists, but I can name you like about 100 bands from the 80s. It just, something about it just makes me more happy, I feel like.
is there something about the aesthetic of like the fashion and the hairstyles and because your look is obviously very inspired by like the music videos and the fashion of that era. Like there's got to be something like real visceral that connects with you, right?
Yeah, the fashion. I know a lot of people my age dress kind of the same nowadays.
Sure.
I'm just not a fan of that. I like dressing uniquely. I've always been like that. I feel like the 80s, everybody had kind of like their own style, unless, all the Valley girls kind of dress the same. I guess it's kind of the same nowadays. Um, I don't know. I love the fashion. I love the big hairdos. I'm not a big fan of like flat hair. I gotta
Yeah.
have volume in my hair. I feel like I look like an egg if my hair is just flat because I've been like teasing my hair for so long. I don't know. Something about it I can't even tell you, honestly. I think it's like it might be a mental illness of mine. I don't know.
No, it's certainly not a mental illness, but like it makes you unique
Yeah.
because you're taking from what came before. Because you know what, like what you're into, like I've seen that sort of thing before. Like I've seen people who are like big fans of like the Roaring Twenties and they like the
Yeah.
Flappers, and they dress up in that way too. And you've just found a way to like put your own unique spirit through this retro style and live it. And I appreciate that because what's really obvious, the most obvious thing about your channel is passion. You
Yes.
love this stuff, and that comes through really well, and it gets people excited about this pop culture we love, this media we love. So, as someone who likes the same stuff you do, I'm really glad you're out there doing what you're doing because it's fun.
Yeah. I love it.